podcast. I am Dr. Kyla Prusak, principal at Minett Elementary, and I'm excited to share with you the voices of real educators who are living this work. When I think about the greatness that is happening every day in schools all over the world, I feel compelled to do a small part in helping others understand the many facets of the work we do. We hope our listeners will be able to gain an inside look as we pull back the curtain.
We are back for episode 7, and we are taking things from kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade. We are thrilled to speak with Katelyn Harbour. She is one of our 5th grade teachers and also our 5th grade team leader. So welcome, Katelyn.
Hello, thank you for having me.
It is so great to have you. And so, Katelyn, on the podcast, we really like to take some time to get to know our interviewees. So would you share a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure, I would love to. So I grew up here in Frisco. I've lived here my whole entire 26 years of life. And I have known ever since I was little that I wanted to be a teacher. So luckily I was able to achieve that goal and be a teacher.
Well, and our listeners don't know, but last week we had Mrs. Chloe Kirk on, and you and Chloe have a unique connection. So tell us about what is similar with you and Miss Kirk.
Well, we went to the same elementary school. We would have gone to the same high school. I think she's 4 years younger than me. We would have gone to the same high school, but she went to Reedy and I went to Frisco High School. She knows my brother.
Awesome. We always love, hiring our Frisco alum, and you guys are making the district proud for sure. So during our last episode when we were talking with Miss Kirk in kindergarten, they have a unique situation because there are 3 teachers in their co-teaching partnership. You are also a part of a team with 3 teachers in your partnerships. So tell us what's unique to 5th grade and your team, just being the 3 of you.
I think one of the huge benefits of being just the 3 of us and not other 5 or 6 or whatever is that we are able to know every single 5th grader, and we know where they are as a reader, we know where they are as a mathematician, we know where they are just in socially and academically. And so I think that that's one of the most powerful things, and all of the kids know that we're all their teachers. And it's not like if you don't take attendance, if you don't see right in the morning who's there, who's not, you don't know who's in whose homeroom class because they're integrated so much and flexibly grouped. And I think that that's one of the best things about being a smaller team is that we truly do know every single student and where they are.
Absolutely. And on a similar note, we also see you and your team trying new innovative strategies to engage your students and best meet their needs. Your team works tirelessly to design data-driven instruction, to collaborate with other teachers, with our gifted and talented teacher, Mrs. Lewin. So talk to us about how you all have personalized learning for students this year.
I think that what we are very successful at is looking at the student data. I would say that I am specifically addicted to looking at the data. I just looking at to see where they are, where they're struggling, what they need. And we truly everything is tailored to the kids' specific needs. It's not about what we need as teachers. It's truly all for the kids. And so because it's the 3 of us and because we know all of the kids, we're able to really dive in deep into what they specifically need and use. I think that we do a pretty good job at using all of our resources to help us achieve greatness across the board.
Mm-hmm. And the kids know it. They can feel it. They know that all 3 of you 5th grade teachers truly know them as individuals, as learners, as students, and it's been really, really cool to watch. So let's move on to the physical spaces at Minett. How have you utilized the flexible learning spaces to benefit your students?
Well, we have also with that moved things around so many times, and I think that that's one of the best things is that you don't have to have it one way the whole entire time. You can switch things up, and we're lucky to have 3 teachers with 2 classrooms. And so we're able to use both spaces to kind of spread out and let them, do small groups on one side or whole groups on the other. And it's really the kids move things around and do whatever they want with the desks, the chairs, And it's kind of just like up to them. All we really need is our small group table, and that can be wherever it needs to be. And it's kind of like the kids just know that they can move the tables, and then at the end of the day, they just put everything back to where it goes. We're working on that. But it's truly, it's all for them, not for us.
Well, where is your favorite spot to lead a group of students?
I like coming down to the Commons. That's probably one of my favorite places. It's just real. It's nice to be able to see like all the other teachers teach down there, and it's just a good change of scenery. Because when you're in a place all day long, it's nice to move around and find a new place to work. And the kids like it too.
It's fun for me as a leader. I love like just walking into the main learning area of the school, and you never know what you're going to see or which students will be in the commons or what learning is happening all over the building. So it's also fun. It's like that novelty of seeing the new. Okay, so I want to talk to you about student leadership. So how have you seen the students grow from the leadership opportunities they have in 5th grade here at Minett?
I think that they have grown immensely. Not only like the leadership opportunities of like being in the student council or the green team or things like that, but like also in the classroom, we've given them leadership roles. It's as simple as something of like signing up for your small group and knowing, okay, you know what, like I have a group at 9:15, like I need to be there at 9:15. And it's just kind of teaching them that accountability as they're growing and going into 6th grade, and just to be able to be leaders and responsible for their own learning and having their own conversations. And all of them are able to come up to us and be like, hey, like I need help with this, or hey, I'm struggling with this, or hey, I did really good at this. And like it's coming from them, which is a huge impact of them, because we all know that students need to be able to advocate for themselves, and like that's what we're really trying to teach them. And I think going into middle school, they'll be super successful with that.
Mm-hmm. It's that whole student agency piece. And you talk about future ready. You think about how many students go to college and have never in their life had to be the one to say, I need to probably go to this study session, or I need to probably go to this tutorial class because I need to work on this certain skill. Your kids in 5th grade are already analyzing their own data. They're understanding, they're looking at the essential standards, and then they're coming up to you and saying, Miss Harbour, Mrs. Polsky, Mr. Boyles, I need to be in this context clue small group, and here I am because you let me know that it's happening.
And what's
right
been
now.
really cool is probably the last month we've seen their data, and we were like, okay, these are the skills in reading and math that they're struggling with, and we're in the process of goal setting. And so we've made a Google form of those groups that we're going to hold, and the kids are signing up for those small groups. And so they are specifically taking ownership of their learning because they know, hey, you know what, I need help with inferring, or hey, I need help with author's purpose, or I need help with multiplying and dividing decimals. And I think that has really helped their motivation and not being so tired with being pulled for groups all the time.
Well, because you're putting the power with
it's
them.
all on them.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, last year you were able to be a part of the curriculum writing team for Frisco ISD. How has that opportunity influenced you as an educator?
I think that has been huge, and just looking at the science and kind of thinking about, okay, how can we best help the students grow in their science? Because I think that's something where like they're tested on this 5th grade science star on things that they learned in 3rd grade and things that they learned in 4th grade. And I think after doing the curriculum writing and now being a teacher here at Minett with that background knowledge, it's kind of been nice to kind of try different things and be like, okay, you know what, like how can we explicitly teach the vocabulary? Because that is what's truly important in the science, is making sure that they do know that vocabulary, that they are getting that hands-on opportunity, and that they know how to analyze the questions. And so I think that has just given me a different way to look at things to help improve the science here at Minett.
I love that you were a part of the curriculum writing team. Our district has so many additional opportunities to serve, beyond the walls of your own elementary, middle, or high school. And I know we have teachers teaching summer school or writing curriculum. So kudos to you for, putting yourself out there and being a part of that team. Okay, so finally, our families are always looking for ways to support learning at home. As students are preparing to move on from Minett, head to middle school, what are some suggestions you can share for skills to practice outside of the classroom?
I think that it's always good to just be able to analyze and understand the problems, and kind of think critically, not just getting the math answer, but like, why are you getting that? I also think that past teachers and previous teachers also have good resources and just like reaching out and communicating with your teachers. And you can always reach out to me. I'm more than willing to help.
Awesome.
But I think that is just like communicating and having them to think critically of the why behind the problems, and having your kids like explain it to you is huge.
That processing. Well, and also going back to what you guys are doing with your small groups and that promotion of student agency, because, you know, mom and dad aren't going to be there as kids are going through 6th grade. And, you know, I'm living that right now. My oldest is a 6th grader, and it really does change in a good way. We love watching him just kind of, you know, leave the nest, so to speak. But I love that you guys are you're creating this safe space for our kids to still be kids, because that's what they are. But you're also constantly giving them those skills to be successful in their future years. Okay, Katelyn, before we let you go, on the podcast, we like to end each episode with a little fun. So today we are going to play 5 questions.
Okay.
So no right or wrong answers. No data will be collected. So just here we go. Are you ready?
I guess so.
Okay. So if you had $1 million, what would be the first thing you buy?
$1 million?
$1 million.
The first thing that I would buy? I'd probably buy some shoes.
Oh, we know you love your shoes, your Nikes. Okay.
Yeah. Or a new car.
Okay.
Just like a Hyundai, you know? Like just a new like Hyundai Santa Fe or something.
I love that.
I don't need
Did you know I had a Hyundai Santa Fe?
No, but I don't need anything fancy. I just want like a mom car, because my car is kind of low to the ground.
Okay, I love it. Hey, Nate, you know, last week we said we might get a Chick-fil-A endorsement. This week we may get a Hyundai endorsement. Okay. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Life is a Highway.
Okay. Okay. Worst movie you've ever watched?
These are really hard questions for me.
I know. You did awesome. You love talking about data and instruction, and then when we get to the easy part, worst movie.
Can you ask me what my favorite nonfiction book is?
What is your favorite nonfiction book?
Okay, so I am really Think Like a Monk, recommended by the one and only Dr. Katelyn She is a life-changing book, and everybody should read it. It is very, 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 very good, and it changes the way you think about life and just not taking things for granted.
Love
See,
it.
I can answer a question like
Good
that.
job. Well, and it's interesting, listeners. I know we have a lot of parents listening. Right now, one of my favorite nonfiction books, and it connects to what you were talking about with that whole student agency piece, is The Self-Driven Child. It came to me from Dr. Waldrop. It's one of his big recommendations. I'm reading it for the second time, but also a great, great, great book for anybody who is going on this journey of parenting or working with students. Okay, back to the questions. You only have 2 more. You can do this.
Does it have to do with music or anything?
I don't know. If you could meet any fictional character, who would you like to meet?
Scooby-Doo.
Okay, love it. And you kind of touched on this. This will bring us back to the beginning of our time together. But if people missed it, when you were 6 years old, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A teacher. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I think that is just like something that I've always wanted to do, and I definitely like have the passion for it, and it's just something that I know that I was put on this earth to do. I'm very thankful.
That's awesome. And I remember, I will never forget my interview with you, and it took us, as soon as it was during COVID, during the pandemic, we interviewed you via Zoom from my house with the committee. And as soon as we hit end, the whole committee was like, absolutely call her right now, because, when you see someone living their purpose, it is one of the coolest things to watch. And we get to watch you do that every day. So thank you for being you and for everything that you do, Katelyn.
Thank you. What a blessing, Dr. Busak. It was a pleasure.
If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope you enjoyed this new episode, and if you did, please leave us a like on YouTube and be sure to hit